Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing? It's Friday. Can't say happy Friday because if you're watching the news, you know what just happened. And on that topic, I have to say disappointed but not surprised. Um, hey Laurie, welcome, welcome, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. You'll know for the past few weeks I have been purposely not talking about the two trials going on. And today there's something I want to talk about where we'll mention it in passing. We'll also not talk about the one who assaulted four young women and got probation. So we're not going to talk about that because ooh. Anyways, I will not be showing my face today because I am literally laying in bed because my tummy has been really hurting all week. Sorry, y'all. My tummy has been hurting all week. I will say that I did go to Wisconsin one time back in 2015 and I was afraid. And I think my friends thought I was joking when I told them not to leave me alone. And we were in the grocery store and they finished buying their groceries before me and they all left. And I was like really, really, really scared. I yelled at them. I was like, I told y'all not to leave me alone. Like, don't y'all get it? Anyways, that's not what we are here to talk about today. I don't expect we'll see very many people because people are probably still glued to their screens. And so, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play the membership video and hope a couple of more people come in. But I just want to say I do have some fun, messy topics down for discussion, and I hope y'all will stay tuned and we can take our mind off things for a little bit.
Hey y'all, I got membership so you can join the crew. Woo! For those who want to support me a little more, I have 3 levels of memberships. We got Potato Chip Crew at $2.99. You get loyalty badges that show how long you've been a member. And look y'all, I got the little potatoes. And you got emojis that only members can use, and I got y'all some potato chips, and of course I had to get a mermaid. And you also get access to member only live chats. That's lives where only members can talk. Then we have the Super Crew at $6.99. You get everything from the previous level plus member shoutouts, members only updates on the community tab, and members only live chat. For $24.99, you get everything from the previous 2 levels, plus I'll follow you on social media, and you get wallpapers for your phone, and you get to choose one of my books for free. If you want to become a member, just hit up that join button and let's have some fun together. Whee!
And just like that, we are back. Okay, so quick announcement. We'll talk about it some more, but I have decided to do vlogmas this year. Oh, I don't know why I keep yawning. So, anyways, y'all, I went to bed and I woke up this morning and and Sophia was trending on Twitter. And y'all, this is like a soap opera. Also, I later on in the settings of the stream, and our producer Sharon isn't here. So do let me know if you can see auto captions. I turned on auto captions, but I had to mess around with the settings a little bit. So let me know if y'all can see the captions. Yes. So I woke up this morning, y'all, and Sophia was trending. If you want a quick catch up on the story, I did upload a short this morning with like the very basics of the details. If you want like all the possible details you can get, I have put a link in the description box to a channel which has several videos which are a recording of the Twitter space from last night where a lot of the information was shared. So I'm going to try to do a summary. So the basic summary is that this person named Sophia went to LA and out cloud chased the cloud chasers. So basically, like she told them she was friends with different celebrities and could get them into events. And based on that and a lot of other things, they gave her money, they paid for flights, hotel rooms, etc. So I'm going to go off of like a couple of Twitter threads that have like a really good summary of the information. And I'm going to start with this one that's like more of a timeline. Most of these people, like, I really do not have the slightest clue who these influencers and oh, I'm so sleepy. I keep yawning. Who these influencers and who these celebrities are. Okay, so Lori, I was basically like, why? Y'all just have money to give? Like, some people gave her thousands of dollars. One of the claims is that she showed people um uh an account of hers that had $11 million in it. So like one of the first things I saw this morning was she scammed $11 million. And also all of this is being said with like no real proof, okay? So Alec, I don't know Alec who, but somebody named Alec met Sophia on Hinge. I guess Hinge is a dating app, and she told him she was in an urgent situation and needed a ride. So he provided a ride to get her to his house. And allegedly, when she was at his house, she gave him wine and he felt drugged, and so he like doesn't remember and he passed out. And when he woke up, he was naked, and Sophia had taken um his clothes off, took pictures of his naked body, and she took pictures in his clothes, in like she did a whole photo shoot in his house. And she like rummaged around his house and stole valuables and found $10,000 that he was hiding in his house. And she took the $10,000 that was hiding in his house. So like I think this one is one of the worst allegations because she took pictures of him naked without his consent. So then there's this other person called Neza that's also an influencer. She got a call from someone she thought was a mutual friend, and Sophia called her saying she needed to pick up from the hospital after having assault kit performed because she had allegedly been assaulted by Jack Harlow's entourage, and the event Ricky Thompson, who's Jack Harlow, is like a musician apparently, who hangs out with Drake sometimes. And Ricky Thompson, who's apparently an influencer, had brought her um to the event where she got assaulted by several people. So Neza got a ride for her and had her sent to Neza's house. But Neza wasn't there. She was in Texas, and Sophia was in Neza's house for 3 days with Neza's assistant Olivia. Um, Laurie, like, part of the thing is people are like trying to wrap their head around if this is a made up story because, like, we have never heard of these influencers. So many influencers out there making a ton of money and we ain't never heard of them. um so then um so then Neza called this person Franny, and they were talking about how um Kian and JC were having a premiere and Neza wouldn't be able to be there. So Sophia contacted Franny, and Olivia dropped her off at Franny's. So Neza tried to tell Franny not to let Sophia in, but when Neza called Franny, Sophia was already there. But these people are saying that like Sophia was always around at all of the events they were going to. So Sophia claimed she was invited to the premiere as well. So she wanted to go together with Franny. And when she got there, Kian and JC recognized Sophia as a stalker who was like following them around everywhere. They claim like they saw her in Vegas, LA, Miami. But somehow last night, JC posted a TikTok and Sophia was in it. So it really doesn't make very much sense. So, um, so Sophia tried to go back to the hotel. Um, and they offered like she tried to go back to the hotel with them, but they were like, no. So they offered her a ride home, and she said she would take an Uber. And apparently, like when they looked at like where she was going to on the Uber, Toya, hi Toya. Toya, this makes absolutely no sense. Okay, no sense. Like all of these people are coming forward claiming they've been scammed by her for a long time. So this Franny and Neza looked at the location on the Uber she was going to, and that wasn't the house that she said she lived because she said she lived with Jeff Wittek, and that like she was the PR, she was like working for Jeff Wittek. But she also said she was pregnant for Jack Harlow, and apparently she also said she had an abortion. She was pregnant for Jack Harlow and she had an abortion in September. And y'all, those people all believe that. Why they all believe that? Because she claimed to be she could get them into like Jack Harlow shows and into parties and stuff. And since they were like seeing her at the parties, they thought she must have some like some sort of connection to get into the parties. But it's like their own fault because they wanted free stuff and to get into the parties. So she made up like a bunch of stories about like where she was living. But her stuff was still at Neza's home, and Neza tried to drop. Y'all, it feels like a poorly written script. And those people were on Twitter Spaces last night. And the thing is, Sophia supposedly is Somali. And so supposedly she's Somali, and like Somali people were like coming to her defense. Yo, we were sleeping. We were sleeping. So it's a mess. It's just such a mess. So oh, yo, I didn't see that part like when I no, there is so much on Twitter. I tried to like weed it out. So, oh my gosh. So they went to like the place to try and drop the stuff for her. And apparently they called it like the ghetto. So, let me so um Sophia claimed to be with like several like influencers and celebrities and there's pictures. And Sophia was at Drake's birthday party. Like she says her name is Sophia Nur, and Drake's friend or manager or like whatever the business partner or whatever the person is has the same last name. So they claim that Sophia is that person's cousin. Sophia was at the VMA's red carpet. Sophia was at Megan the Stallion's recent birthday party. Sophia was at Jake Paul's fight and was kicked out several times due to her behavior. But somewhere else I read um that Sophia had told some of the influencers like she could get them into the fight, and then when they got there they had to pay for like her tickets. Like it's a lot of stories of Sophia telling people she can get them into things, and then they had to end up paying for the things themselves. And she said she would reimburse them, or like her boss, whichever boss she was lying about that week, would reimburse them. And then they get there and they pay for the things. Like like how is it you're going to be on a flight from LA to Vegas, and like Sophia said she'll pay for your flights and she'll get you tickets to Jack Harlow's show, and then you get to the airport and she hasn't booked any flights for you. So y'all pay for the flight tickets. Like y'all, they so desperately wanted to go somewhere. Like if you, I would have gone home. at that point, okay, so, and there's like videos of her and pictures of her everywhere. I'm telling you, that's why I'm like, you know what? We don't have to talk about what's happening in the real world. We can just talk about this and just like take our minds off things, because like this will take your mind off anything, because you're like, what the hell? Okay, so like one of the few people I actually I'm just like, tell me where these people are, because like, so one person gave her $6,000. Like, give me $6,000, please, and thank you. I will put it to good use. At one point she claimed to have lupus and scammed. They say she scammed a charity, but it sounds like it was like a family. I don't know. Anyway, so at one point, someone called Jeff Wittick, who was part of David Dobrik's vlog squad, and the person told him Sophia needed help getting out of a situation, and that she had been assaulted again and her purse was stolen. So Jeff Wittig sent her his card information um to get herself to safety. But he apparently wasn't sure who Sophia was, but he felt he had to help her. and and so obviously she just ran up his card. So like everybody's saying they didn't know who Sophia was, but like they knew her as a friend of her friend, but she kept hanging out with them all the time, and every time she tell them she could get them something for free, they believed her. And apparently, like, she'd been scamming them for months, and all of them hang out together all the time. And only like a few days ago did they realize that she'd been scamming all of them. So, y'all, this is like a multi state. Somebody in Miami claimed that Sophia broke into a house and stole her passport and her money. Oh, I can show you all a picture. I can show you all a picture. Yo, Loki, I think some of these people just wanted to have a black friend, and a lot of people can only be friends with a black person if they think the black person is the person that always needs their help and is less fortunate. And she just played into that, and I can't hate her for it. But that's just me. That's just, a theory. Um so apparently she would just like go stay with them, with people, and stay for like a long time. Like there's even uh um yes, like I kind of feel as if some of these influencers are just hopping on the train just to be relevant, but like you never know. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me go in the other thread. I don't know if this laptop will let me show you all screenshots. Okay. Um oh, this is a really good picture of her. We can look at that. There we go. Let me see if this will let me show it to y'all. Look, we're not saying we're not saying that Sophia should run for Congress, but It's just the whole story sounds fishy. Okay, y'all. So this is what she looks like, all like pretty and done up and made up. And if you all are on Twitter, that's where like all the information is. It does help, Lori. You are not wrong. It does help. It helps a lot. Okay, let me try to pull up some of the other like screenshots for y'all. Okay. So another take is that Sophia first became friends with Ricky Thompson and told him a bunch of stuff. Um and Ricky and Denzel wanted to go to Vegas to see Jack Harlow's show. So Sophia told them that she was dating Jack and she could get them into the show. So let me see. There's a screenshot. Um, Let me try and pull up the screenshot so I can show you that supposedly a text message between her and Jack Harlow that she showed to them. Among the lies Sophia told them was that she was making a Netflix special, which I wouldn't be surprised because y'all know people will be doing wild things for shows. Um, that she was doing a whole Netflix special, and then she'd tell them Netflix was paying for stuff. But if y'all have nothing to do and y'all have about 2 hours of your time, all of the whole like directly from the influencer's mouth is on. Look, if it's a Netflix special, people are like on Twitter like Sophia needs a PR agent. She needs to write a book. Speaking of, in a little while, um, another Christopher Boozy is going to be dropping another report on the Meghan Markle hate situation. Oh, this is taking forever to load. That's why I didn't want to share the screen, y'all. Okay, look, I need to scam these people out of money for a computer. That's what I need to do so I can share my screen at leisure. Because sharing the screen crashes my computer every time. I don't even know what's going on. Like it'll be working one time and then it won't be working. Okay. So I'm going to have to use my words and describe to you the screenshots. Look, I have later in this live I'm going to share some like utterly like ridiculous videos I saw on the internet because I already figured we would need to like cheer up. Okay. So, all right. So let me see if I can pull up the screenshot. Okay. So this text message like from like Jack Harlow is telling her to come to Vegas to his show. She can bring two people. He'll book a flight and she's like she's busy. Does I want to know if she ever like had like a job. Like she said she worked in PR. If this is like a PR company stunt or like marketing for an event, I wouldn't be surprised. Um, and he's like, you can reschedule. I'll fly you out on Friday, and you can leave after my set. So apparently, that's what she sent the guys, and they believe that like Jack Harlow was paying for them to fly out to his show. So once they get to the show, like this can be like a whole series, y'all. I see different seasons of this. The LA season, the Vegas season. So when they get to the airport, they didn't have any flights booked. So Denzel spent $3,000 to pay for their flights, assuming that Jack Harlow, which they never actually spoke to, would reimburse them. And then when they got to Vegas, there were no hotels booked either. So this person called Denzel pays for the hotels too because they assume they'll get reimbursed. Um, and then they go to Jack Harlow's show and they end up in backstage and in VIP. So they assume that she's the one that got them into backstage and VIP, but like she got in there because she was with them apparently. Um and apparently the reason she was at the VMAs is because she sneaked in, and apparently like there's this a whole other storyline about something called Rolling Loud, which I guess is like some sort of event. The way I have no idea what. Oh my god, real scammers of Las Vegas. Um so apparently either she snuck into Rolling Loud and she stole four VIP tickets or whatever. But the people, the influencers were so used to seeing her around that they didn't think anything of it. I'm really suspicious of whoever the JC person is because, like, if you think this person is a stalker and she's only just a hanger out, like, why was she in your TikTok last night? And if you go to the short I uploaded this morning, you'll see the TikTok. Um. Okay. So cause like, how is it that someone is telling you she pregnant with Jack Harlow baby and she's living with Jeff Wittek and you're not asking questions? Like how? Okay, so but apparently like she made up emails and showed them emails confirming flights too. Hi Charlene Hill, thanks for coming. So apparently there's footage of her breaking into someone's house and she took bank cards from that person's house. Um and how she allegedly connected someone's card to her Venmo and sent money with it. Um okay. So So there's like ton of stories, right? Okay. Let me try and there's like allegedly there's a warrant out for her in Atlanta, but like I didn't get any information about that, and it all went down in the spaces last night. And to tell you the truth, while I find this very entertaining and like in a trashy soap opera way, um, like I'm not going to say any of it is true or isn't true. I don't care enough to go listen to the whole like all the recordings of the space from last night. Um okay, so this person said their father is a WNBA coach and their mother is famous, and they have a non-profit where they raise money for lupus research and people affected by lupus. So so Sophia basically like told them she had lupus, and they sent her a check for $3,000, and for some reason they flew her to Atlanta and put her up in the W hotel. The W, you mean to tell me like if I'm trying to help out someone, I'm going to put them up in the W? Come on. So um so then they sent Sophia the check and sent her to Atlanta and put her up in the hotel. Um so then they were speaking to some other woman via email and Instagram, and the person even sent them pictures of themselves in the hospital. So they also sent that person a check for $3,000 as well. But it turns out that the second person was also Sophia, and the only way they knew is because their finance person realized that the two checks were deposited in the same bank account. Um, so I'm not really sure. Like, Sharon! Oh my gosh, Sharon! We missed you. Our producer, we're supposed to have lives on screen captions. So, I mentioned your name because we're talking about this Sophia person who scammed. Um, Laurie, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's okay, Sharon. It's fine. It's fine. Lives happen, and today is not a great day. That's why we're talking about this messy soap opera situation. So, we're talking about this person called Sophia because I woke up this morning and Sophia was trending on Twitter, and apparently she made friends with a whole bunch of influencers and scammed them out of money. So, we run this one family where she scammed them out of two $3,000 checks, even sending pictures of a imaginary account that she had already gotten $3,000, and then she got them to send her another check for $3,000. She even sent them pictures of the person in the hospital. um I still can't get over, they flew her to Atlanta, I'm assuming from LA to Atlanta cannot possibly be cheap, and put her in the W hotel. Like, I need to make friends with these people because like I want to go to the Center for Endometriosis Care in Atlanta, and I would have to pay $10,000 out of pocket. Like, they could just pay for that. I'll stay with Bethany. They don't have to put me up in the W. I can stay with Bethany. Like, come on. Those people were just giving her money, and like I really don't know. They don't say why they flew her to Atlanta. They don't say. But one tweet was suggest no, not a tweet. A space I was in this morning was suggesting that someone said there's a warrant out for her arrest in Georgia, but no one has shown anything. Like, this is just like they said. This is like peak gossip at this moment. Um So this other person says one of my homegirls was at the exchange. I'm assuming that's like a club or something. A few days ago, and it was this girl um was waiting outside pretending to be drunk. My friend asked her if she was good, and she said she had been in the VIP section with Noah Beck and started feeling dizzy. She said he roofied her drink. So this person met a stranger at a club and took her back to her apartment so she could sleep on the couch for the night. And the girl wakes up the next morning and Sophia is gone and her credit cards are missing. And she had five charges for Delta Airlines, Louis Vuitton, McDonald's, Bad Dragon, and DoorDash. She spent $10,000 before the card was locked. And there's like another thing where it said like the way Jeff Wittick realized um like she was using his card. Y'all, this is like something else because she bought one plane ticket on his card and then she was buying another plane ticket on his card. Where is this girl going? She is buying all these plane tickets. Is she going to the airport and get making them give her cash refunds? Like, I have never bought anything with a card and had them refund it in cash. So is she traveling like many times? What is going on? Like, how why is she buying all these plane tickets? You know? That is, I don't know if this Delta Airlines charge is a plane ticket, but at this point, if you count the flight to Atlanta, the two plane tickets she bought um from Jeff Wittick's card and this one plane ticket, that's four plane tickets. Where is she going with all where is she going in a pandemic? Not McDonald's. Like, how much did was the McDonald's charge? I have questions for all these people. These people getting the DMs are not asking follow up questions. They're posting these screenshots. I need them to be asking follow up questions. And then, like, the one person where their finance guy figured out both checks were deposited in the same account. Any of y'all still write checks? And if you do, like, do you get the information about like what account the check was deposited in? Like, is that a thing? Is that a rich people thing? Oh my gosh, Toya, how much did they spend there? Like, I feel like if you steal a card to buy a McDonald's, is McDonald's still super cheap? When I worked in New York, I used to get um the breakfast hash brown potatoes thing, patty thing. I used to get that for like 99 cents. And sometimes there'd be like a homeless person in there and they'd be like, can you? I'm like, you can choose one thing. You can have a coffee, you can a sandwich, and I'll just buy like one thing for the homeless person. Oh my god, a sneaker store. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Um, um is that hold on, y'all. Oh, where did I find this other one? Oh, there's two more stories, but I have it. Or maybe I have it saved. Okay, there's two more stories, right? There's another story. Um, mm, there's another story where someone says they met Sophia. Oh, where is this? Let me try and find it so I can tell you the exact things, okay? Um, okay. There's one person. Oh my gosh, Toya, I am pissed for you. Yeah, gas is one they used to like to do. Toya. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Toya. Oh my gosh. You were like, let me send you a picture. Oh, okay, let me see. See, I saved like a bunch of stuff because I know, but I saved it on my phone and I didn't upload it. Okay, maybe I'll find it there. But like one person said they gave like there's like a bunch of people that keep saying they bought her plane tickets. Ooh, did y'all hear the story where workers Amazon workers have been looking up like celebrities buying like purchase history and stuff, and like apparently like any low level amazon amazon worker could like look up anybody's amazon history of like what they bought. Okay, I'm trying to like give you all the full details of these stories. Okay, what I need to do, why is this still like super slow? But like how many tickets did she need? Okay, let me see. So one person, okay, I think I kind of get it here. Right. So one person said that, look, I heard the story and I'm like, I'm not even mad at the Amazon employees because like my one of my clients that owns a restaurant says she tries to pay her staff really well. Like when she found out what people she interviewed were making at the previous job, she was like appalled because she was like, if you just pay your staff well, they're less likely to steal your stuff. Like she must be like stockpiling the tickets and then maybe like changing, like doing changes, but a change can be so expensive. Like there are times when it's cheaper to just buy a new ticket than make a change. Like sometimes a change will run you like $200. Okay. So one person shared that Sophia told them the mother was dead and she needed $4,000 for the funeral, but they gave her the $4,000. Apparently, who are these people? Give me $4,000. Give it to me. I'm gonna buy a new computer, and I'm gonna buy a fancy camera, and I'm gonna buy food and pay my insurance. I might end up just buying food. You all know how I like food. Anyways, no, I'd probably buy the computer so I could like do better streaming so I could make more money in the future. But cameras are so expensive, so I'd probably just buy like a webcam and then I'd buy food and I'd redo the kitchen. But I'll redo the kitchen anyway. We have to redo the kitchen because there's mold in the cupboards. And I think it's affecting my breathing. But that's another story for another time. So they gave her the $4,000, right? But apparently that wasn't true. But I feel like this person also bought Sophia a ticket. Like they um and then this other person said she met Sophia crying on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and they asked her if she was Somali, and so like later Sophia told them that she was ditched by her friends and she didn't have any way to go back home, so they paid for a plane ticket for her. Like I think that might be the same person that gave her the $4,000, because like I remember seeing that they paid like $690 for the plane ticket and three something for a hotel stay. And they were not mad about that, but apparently Sophia had promised to pay them the $4,000 back. I'm not borrowing money from anybody. I cannot pay you back. And then this other person said that Sophia um told her she didn't have anywhere to stay. So this person also, y'all see that, another plane ticket. So that's what, like six plane tickets. The person booked a hotel for her and bought her a plane ticket, and she promised to PayPal them the money. But this person knew that Sophia was Canadian. So they threatened to have her deported, and supposedly and that's how they ended up getting her money back. So I think that's all the details. If any of that makes any sense to y'all, like no one has heard from Sophia. No one has shown like their receipts, like literal receipts. This is the flight I paid for Sophia. Nothing like that. Like this is me PayPaling money to her. Nothing. Like it's just people saying things, So I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think? Like, how ridiculous is all of this? And the other thing too is, who even like knew of these influencers before all of this? Because the one guy, JC, that posted the TikTok, right? That I included in the short that I released this morning, he said that he didn't know all of this was going on last night when Sophia was at a party with them. It makes no sense. That I've been talking about this for almost an hour. All of this makes absolutely no sense. So someone said that she's from Toronto and she used to do the same thing in Toronto. She used to sneak into parties and stuff, but they don't think she ever scammed anyone of money in Toronto. And then there's another rumor that when she left Toronto, she went to Minnesota where she scammed like a Somali community there. But um yeah. Ooh, ooh. Um okay. So that's what's going on with them. I thought, this would be a welcome relief from the what's going on in the world, and it would get me some views. So we talked about it for an hour. Look, this all like if it came out, if it came out that the 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 influencers all made this up to get information attention, I would not be surprised. But the way I see it is they which of the most obvious things, Sharon? Um the way I see it, the reason why they they kept like being friends with Sophia is because they always saw her at events, and influencers are super entitled. They think they should get everything for free. Let me tell a story about an influencer. Let me look up how many followers she has on Instagram because I unfollowed that bitch. That's what some of the Somalis in the space I was in this morning were saying. Like, if she had scammed Somalis, more people would know about it, like in the Somali community. Um, Let me see. Okay, so this influencer, I used to work at this resort. I shared this story in one of my videos. I don't think I've put it out yet. Her followers have gone down. To me, I feel like she used to have more followers. Anyway, she has 1.1 million followers on Instagram, and she's blue checked. And um so the the resort, a PR company in Miami, got her a free stay at the resort that I stay at. So the resort that I used to work at. So the resort is 4 star. um it's like really cool. Like everybody else, because I used to do retreat marketing for them, and everybody that came there were like, we cannot believe the resort looks exactly like the pictures. I actually have a video before the pandemic on my channel. It used to do like the best on my channel of like just like around the resort and stuff. And I used to send that video out to people and be like, this is what you're getting, because it is like on a hillside. It's not accessible. Like you have to walk down like almost 300 steps to get to the beach. Like if you have any mobility issues, you should not go there. But the beach is amazing. There's diving like right offshore. Like you can just like walk and go snorkeling. There's a dive center. The food is actually really good. Um, so they got her, I want to say like a 4 night stay. So um the day before, now she comes in. Now St. Lucia is a small island, but it's mountainous and it takes a long time to get anywhere. Like just from the highway down the private road, which is very bumpy, to the resort takes you at least 10 to 15 minutes of driving. So, a few days, like just before she comes, she's like, she wants to stay at Jade Mountain. Now, Jade Mountain is the premier resort on the island. Like, there's this guy that I didn't talk to for a whole time because he went to Jade Mountain without me, and I'm like, why? um Jade Mountain has is like 3 walls The fourth wall is open, an infinity pool, and you can see the ocean, you can see the mountains. Like each room has its own infinity pool. Um, a lot of the celebrities stay there. When Justin Bieber was with Selena Gomez, they came to St. Lucia, they stayed there. People took pictures and they were like super confused because they thought they were on a yacht, but they weren't, because that's just how the hotel is. So this woman decides she needs a night at Jade Mountain, and she doesn't want to hear anything. They have paid for her flight, they're giving her a free hotel, and she has decided she wants the resort we're at, which costs, let's say, $400 a night, give or take. She wants them to pay for her or figure out a way so that she can stay at Jade Mountain, which is minimum, I think, like $900 a night. How does that make sense? Like, she's basically saying if they can't figure out a way for her to stay at Jade Mountain, she is not coming. And at that point, she's doing that. Like, her room has already been prepared. And so I don't know how, I don't know who, they figure out a way to get her into Jade Mountain. She's not paying for anything. And like the deal was, she was supposed to be, yes, Sharon, $900 per night, and they only want to pay little old me $30 per yoga class. And they get upset when I demand more money. But the people they fly in, they pay $150 per yoga class. Anyways, so they finagle away. This woman is like, I want this, I want that. They did a whole photo shoot with her on the beach. Shan! Ah, thanks for coming by, Shin. Yes, I know. I mean, I don't know what went on. Y'all, this is Shane. Shane is indigenous and lives in New Mexico. Is it New Mexico, Shane? Shane has a channel. Um and Shane shows us things, and mostly like does like talking lives, but also like shows us around the res sometimes, and shows us around Gallup and other places. So y'all make sure, and Sharon, can you drop the link to Shane's channel and y'all can check it out. Um oh, Arizona. Shane is in Arizona on the Navajo Nation. Y'all, I have like no understanding of like the size of the Navajo Nation, except that it is really large and has some places that are really beautiful. So, I'm telling a story, Shane, about an influencer that came to the resort that I worked at. So, we're expecting this woman to show up. Her room has been prepared. We're waiting for her. like like part of the deal, like she asked for all these things, a photographer and everything, so they get her a photographer, with the idea that they can use her pictures. And I don't know who negotiated this resort for this deal for them, because she only did one post at the resort. Like, she got free flights to St. Lucia. Flights to St. Lucia are never less than $800. She got free stay at a resort. A photographer. She got to pick which photographer. The resort paid for the photographer. A photographer for 8 hours, and all she gave them back was one post. They were hoping she would go back and tell her yoga teacher friends, and like they were under the impression that she would then book a retreat at the resort. She did not. She No, it's not Selena Gomez. We're not talking about Selena Gomez. We're talking about an influencer that I didn't name. One post on her Instagram with 1 million followers. At the time, she had like 1.5 million. Her followers have gone down. So she made them send her to Jade Mountain, which is the resort that Selena and Justin stayed at, and like Kevin Hart stayed there when he was here. Like this is a resort that has like a private helicopter pad. So like a lot of the people that stay there flying on their private jet, and then they take their private helicopter ride over to the hotel. But like I don't blame them for taking the helicopter ride to the hotel, because it's even further out of the way than the resort I worked at. Like it takes you minimum 20 minutes to get to Jade Mountain, because when I went down there, there's like one hotel at the base of the mountain, like at the beach, and then there's like separate branches, Jade Mountain at the top. And so like you drive in for about 15 minutes and you get to Anshasni, and then you have to drive up a steep hill another like 10 minutes to get to Jade Mountain. So I don't blame them for taking the helicopter there, right? So so then so then we're waiting for her to come. Like every and she wanted her private taxi. She wanted like all these things. So we're expecting her to come, and the staff are like, "This is everybody, but where is room? Let's say room O. The rooms have letters, so let's say room O. They're like, but where's room O? Room O isn't here." And she got one of the rooms with a private plunge pool. So she didn't come the first night, even though like they'd had a welcome basket prepared for her, freshly baked bread, cheeses, and whatever. She didn't show up. And the hotel had to arrange like a separate taxi to go get her. And like I wouldn't advise anybody to go from Jade Mountain to the other resort I work at. It is like it's a nauseating ride. It's just like turns and bumps. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Mm-mm. Anyways, so she shows up, and she is a B word. She is just okay, Shin. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. That does not help me, Shin. I have never been to West Virginia. I just know it's big, and there's different reservations, and that's all I know. So so she comes in, right, and she doesn't want the staff to talk to her, but they like kind of have to talk to you. They have to like give you the like, this is the resort, this is where your room is. And the staff are not used to that. Like people, everybody that comes to the resort are always like very friendly. I literally had someone in my yoga class who was neighbors with the queen. I couldn't place his accent, and I'm like, and he kept coming to class. Sometimes it was just him, and he was really good at yoga. He was like the whitest white man, but he was like really pleasant. And y'all realize St. Lucia is 258 square miles, right? Y'all have to tell me in terms of like Florida, but still it won't make sense. Like my brain doesn't work that way. Anyways, moving on. So finally, like I think the third time I met him, he'd stayed at the hotel for 2 weeks. Like someone who can come and stay at a 4-star hotel for 2 weeks is loaded, right? So I said to him, "Where are you from?" Because I just could not place his accent, and he goes, "Windsor," and I'm like, "Windsor, as in Windsor Castle?" He's like, "Oh yeah, my back garden shares a fence with Windsor Castle." Like, dude, who says their backyard shares a fence with Windsor Castle? Like, matter of fact. Like, he wasn't like walking around like thinking like I'm the most important person. Like, all of the staff was like, "Oh my god, he is so nice and so." Laurie! Oh my god, Laurie! No, he wasn't a corgi, but he was the nicest, sweetest little man. Like, he was so pleasant. Um, And so, um, like these are the kind of people that come to the resort, and they're always like really nice. They smile at the staff. They say hello. Um, like it was weird. She was super weird. She was like super weird. She didn't want, like, when the staff said hello, she was like jumping out of her skin and stuff. And then she said to the general manager, she really is using this as some time away. She's tired of people mobbing her. She doesn't want anyone to come up and talk to her. I have never in my entire time teaching yoga at resorts where like I met another yoga teacher and they weren't like, well, there was that one lady who's white who lives in St. Lucia who's also a B word. But other than that, like every other yoga teacher I've ever met, every other fitness instructor, to be honest, has always been very like huggy, very chatty, very like asking me about teaching in St. Lucia. It was the weirdest thing. She never once, imagine you're a yoga teacher. Like y'all have been there for my lives with Diane Bondi, right? Like Diane has millions of followers on YouTube. That, well, maybe not millions. Let's go check. Not on YouTube. Her follower count isn't shown on YouTube. But on Instagram, she has hundreds of thousands. Diane lost her Instagram account, and within a week she made a new Instagram account, and within a week she had 100,000 followers. And Diane is verified on Instagram. She has 104,000 followers on Instagram. Well, maybe you get worse at 1 million. But no one, literally no one at the resort knew who she was. No one at the resort cared. They treat everybody really well, and she did not want anybody to come up to her. Like staff would ask her simple questions like, "What dinner reservation would you want?" And she she would be mad at them. Like, you have to make a reservation for dinner. Like, you can't just show up to dinner whenever you want. That resort does not have room service. And like from that, I got that some of these influencers. Sharon, have you never been in my lives with Diane Bondi from Canada? We've done two different live streams, just chatting. She's my big sister. Um, so I don't even know how. Yeah, so that's when I figured out some of these big influencers. They like come across on like online as like super like friendly and personable and stuff, but they're not. They're only there to get free stuff. Like, it's okay. It's okay. We've lived 10 years through the pandemic. I don't care what anyone says. The pandemic has been going on for 10 years. And so, bringing it back to this, what's her name? Sophia situation. I feel like those influencers were friends with Sophia because they believed Sophia could get them free stuff. And they had fear of missing out. So when they showed up to the places and she hadn't paid for the things, they paid for it. Like, I'm not endorsing what she did, um, especially like the places where she like stole passports, broke into people's homes, took pictures of a naked man, but like they kind of set themselves up for that. And the other thing too people have to remember is a lot of those influencers got super rich, super young, and they don't have any life skills. Like, I was watching this one YouTuber that has tons of followers, and she's supposed to be an esthetician or whatever you however you say that. And she was talking about how no one taught her to do laundry, no one taught her how to organize a closet, no one taught her how to clean a room, no one taught her how to wash her face. And I was like, was this one raised? Are people just not teaching their children things? Like, did she have parents? Like, did she have parents? Well, like, I would like to know. Because you have to teach children to do things like brush their teeth and bathe. And, like, you don't just expect them to, like, know how to do it. In the beginning, you brush their teeth. and then you start letting them brush their own teeth, and you tell them like how to do it, and then you watch them do it, and you make adjustments, and then you like tell them wash your face, and you don't do it right, and you tell them no, this is how you do it, use this, use that. Like, she's like, no one ever gave me a skincare routine, and I'm like, to be fair, no one ever gave me a skincare routine, but I didn't really have skin problems. But like, no one ever showed you how to clean your room. Like, I don't understand. Anyways, like, a lot of these influencers don't have life skills. They don't. And y'all, we're still on my first topic, and I have a long list for today. So let's see how much we can blast for it before I hit that 2 hour mark. Okay. Speaking of trashy people, there's this guy Zac Stacey. Laurie didn't take. But like, everybody remembers, like, when you brush your teeth, you had to like go show your parents your teeth, and they'd either send you to redo it, or they'd be like, okay, go to bed now. Okay. Yeah, the burps are coming out. I've tried not to do too many huge burps during the Sophia thing so I can get the views. Okay. So, um Zac Stacey, there's a video going around. I actually watched it. He literally beat up his mom, his baby mama, while their 5 month old was in the room. And he's been arrested and charged. And then the baby, with all this nonsense, and like, I hate to see this. Actually, I'm not going to see it. But the baby called the police on his baby mama while on Instagram Live, literally while she was breastfeeding their 3 month old child. And I was going to like talk about that and talk about like these situations, but what can we say that hasn't been said? If someone is hurting you, find help, call. I don't even know who to say call, because shit. Okay, let's move on to something more trivial. Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello announced their breakup on Instagram, on their Insta stories, with a little thing saying we've decided to go our separate ways. And everybody is trying to say Shawn Mendes is gay. And Shawn Mendes is like, I'm not gay. Not that there's something wrong with being gay. But if I was gay and I wasn't ready to come out, y'all don't get to force me to come out. And I think that's like so important. Like, a lot of people like to decide, and Shawn Mendes is like, people have been calling me gay since I was 15, blah 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 blah. And I just wanted to take that opportunity to remind people that you shouldn't out people, because you never fully know what situation anyone else is. And even if you know for sure, or it's just a rumor, that isn't really something you should be spreading. Now, I also want to bring your awareness to the fact that there's a Chinese tennis player missing, and I meant to like look up the information on her name and some other stuff, but the way I heard it is that she accused someone really powerful of assault, of the kind that gets videos demonetized. So after that, she's gone missing. And there's also a Chinese reporter who was a very big part of the Me Too movement. Oh, my tummy finally stopped hurting. Oh, that's much better. My tummy's been hurting for like 3 hours now. So this reporter is like a huge part of the Me Too movement, and she is also missing. So it seems like over in China, someone is cleaning house. All right, now I also want to talk about Paul. What's his name? Gosar. Is that his name? Y'all know the the one who tweeted the video of AOC. No, I don't want to talk about him tweeting the video of AOC. I'm trying not to talk too much about political things because as a foreigner, I don't want anybody to say I'm trying to influence US politics. So I don't like to talk about like specific politicians and stuff. But also other than thank you, Sharon. Thank you very much. But also the um other than encouraging people to vote. Other than that, I try to and other than like larger issue stuff. So anyways, yes, so I also want to mention that the reason why we know about this tennis player is because Osaka has been advocating for her, and she's supposedly friends with Naomi Osaka. So I want to play for y'all a video that has been going around of Paul Gossert after, or Gosar or whatever his name is, after he was censured, and people are using that video and some other instances of um him twitching off balance, what they say, slurring his words, and trying to use that to diagnose him. They're trying to say he has mental illness, and they're trying to equate that with his very problematic views. So here is the video, and then I'll come back after the video.
Hey folks, I'm Getter. This is Congressman Paul Gosar. I just got back from the floor where the Democrats have censored me for challenging their America Last agenda. They should know I won't be bullied, even if they challenge me and try to take away my America First agenda. It's great to be on a service that's not going to be censored. And you even like cartoons. I love that. I'm looking forward to having great discussions with you, so tune in next time. Until next time, thanks again.
Okay, so that was oops, that was the video, and so also a lot of people are trying to say that Sophia has mental illness, and that's why she did that. Yo, people can have mental illness, people can have all sorts of illness and not do those things. Like, we don't know what was going on with him. I have seen people get so angry that they shake from anger. Like, we have seen that. Like, we don't know what's going wrong with him. So no matter how bad the person is, we shouldn't be trying to diagnose them, and we shouldn't be, we still, like, nobody deserve to have any of their medical conditions exposed unless it's like for the public safety. And then, but the thing is, the thing I see a lot is equating, I almost made up a word, equating being mentally ill or various other disabilities as being evil. Like, no, 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 just no. I tried to get the screenshot, but I didn't see it, of some streamer who I do not know who he is, talking about how he has problems with low blood salt levels, and his salt level went low while he was on stream, and because his salt level was low, he used the N word. And it's just like, wait, 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 what? Just like, what? How? It just, no. People need to stop making excuses for these things. I just wish people would be more straight up and say, I do not like black people. But they know that their position is wrong. And so they try to make excuses. They knowingly engaged in this behavior. This is willful racism. Anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox. We can call people out without using ableist words. That's just what I have to say on the topic. Ooh, Josh is here. Hi, Josh. Josh is here. I think it might have been on Josh's Twitter I saw about the low blood salt streamer person. And I was just like, y'all know, you know whom. Like, people can have Tourette's without saying that word. Y'all know, you know whom rhymes with pen, starts with a J. Y'all remember when she said her ADHD made her say those things about AOC? And then while I was indisposed in the months where I was unable to do things, um she did had that Oprah thing, and she had that whole mess, and she had that whole Twitter thing where she says she's neurodivergent and passionate and whatever. And y'all remember, she's the queen of saying my ADHD every time someone tries to hold her accountable. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's interesting, Lori. Okay. So, moving on to the next topic. But Lori, um can they say, do they just like say the word randomly, or do they say it in a sentence? Because the if I remember correctly, and I can't remember who it was that said that the person said it in a sentence and it was in context, which made it suspicious. Ooh, thanks for subscribing, Josh. Welcome. Okay. So another thing that I saw, um, now, anyways, again, we don't know about these things, and I don't think we're qualified to judge that particular case. But I feel like we can assume that the person who said their low blood salt made them do it. We can assume that person was just talking crap. Um, okay, so we saw videos, which we don't know how much it's true, of protesters outside the courthouse in Kenosha yesterday sharing pizza. And then I feel like people people tend to act like pizza solves and everything. Like, I don't know if I'm just salty because of my wheat and dairy allergy, or because all throughout college people acted like free pizza was gold. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to go somewhere I don't want to go just because there's pizza. Like, I don't understand the obsession with pizza. Yeah, Sharon, we said at the beginning that we're not going to talk about this because it is frustrating, disappointing, not surprising, but I do want to talk about the pizza things because I remember seeing a nurse talking about nurses quitting and all the pressure they're under, and like nurses asking for more PPE, more staff, more time off, and all they would get is a pizza party. Like, like, I get the idea that a lot of people think all people's times, effort, everything is just with pizza. And I'm here to say no. No. there's so much food that's so much better than pizza. So much more filling, flavorful. Like, I don't get the obsession with pizza. I know like a lot of people like pizza, but I think that's because they just never had a chicken roti. They just never had a good curry. They just never had a good stew, a good, like a really, really good steak. Shoot, we're not on what I've been cooking yet. Okay, I made these like potato squares the other day. I'll tell you the whole story, but it was so good. So good. So, so good. My brain cannot understand free pizza. Now, free Indian food. Free Indian food, let me tell you, when I was in grad school, every simple Muslim thing, the end of Ramadan, oh, there'll be food, I'll be there. I definitely the end of Ramadan. Yep. Mhm. You're going to get good lamb. You're going to get good rice. You're going to get good curry. Oh my God! You're going to get good veg. Like no one does good veg like the Indians and the Muslims. I am there for every single Muslim celebration that has food. I don't need to know what the menu is. Now we talking. When I was at the Coast Guard Academy, every single Asian and Pacific American club event that Becca's mom was cooking for, Becca's mom was Korean, and it doesn't matter. Like the event would be catered, and then Becca's mom would bring food, and we'd only eat the food that Becca's mom brought because Korean food. Like my classmates always would be like, how do you, we have never seen you be excited over food. I'm like, y'all want me to get excited over pizza? Y'all want me to get excited over um they used to make jerk chicken in the cafeteria at the Coast Guard Academy, and it was literally whole chicken breasts. I swear to you, with like black pepper on it. The chicken was white, and people would be like, "Does this remind you of home?" And I'd be like, first of all, I'm not Jamaican. Second of all, jerk chicken isn't a thing in St. Lucia. We appreciate jerk chicken, but we're St. Lucian. We don't try to make jerk chicken. If we know Jamaicans, then we eat their jerk chicken. Third of all, no one from any island in the Caribbean would cook any chicken and it would be white. Third of all, no one in the Caribbean would cook a whole chicken breast in the oven and call it anything other than chicken breast. Second of all, there's no seasoning. I may not be Jamaican, but I know you need the powdered jerk seasoning and you need the Jamaican jerk seasoning that comes in a jar and it's a paste. But there was a Jamaican restaurant and the upperclassmen would get jerk chicken for me sometimes. And then the white people would be like, "What's that smell? It's seasoning. It's seasoning, Karen. It's seasoning." Okay, I'm going on a rant. Let me calm down. Okay, I think I need to, calm down before I use some slurs against pizza and I have to do an apology and say I had like low blood sugar or something. It was my fibromyalgia. My fibromyalgia caused me to use these slurs against pizza. Oh, wait, Charlene. Um Charlene, are you Jamaican? Y'all, I think Charlene is Jamaican. If you are Jamaican, Charlene, please tell us um please tell us about how you need to make the jerk chicken the right way. Yes, Sharon. It only looked like black pepper. I like will never forget. It's seared into my memory because the first time I got excited for jerk chicken and it was just some big chicken and it was just some little dots, black dots on top. I can only assume it's black pepper and I'm like, you have to make blended seasoning. At the very least, no one in the Caribbean cooks without onion and garlic in everything. Like, oh, I think that's what it is, Toya. I think like people get excited for pizza because like pizza is the only food it's hard to mess up because even if it's bad pizza, it's still good. But like for me, with like my sensory issues, when I eat bad pizza, the like texture, like I like my favorite kind of pizza when I used to eat pizza was the margarita, the thin crust margarita pizza because then it's like crunchy and it's not like gooey. Like I do not like the gooiness. The cafeteria pizza and a lot of pizza also always is like gooey. The dough doesn't seem like properly cooked. The dough is soggy. Yo, I said I was going to stop talking about pizza. Okay, Laurie, if you're still there. Ooh, foreign man in a foreign land. Let me Google that. Foreign man in a foreign land. Okay, Google is going to take forever because. Okay. Okay, Toya. Okay. Tell us. Tell us. Tell us. Let's see. Pizza slurs band name. Oh, not the pizza hate. Yeah, I do not like pizza. Yeah, it's okay to like pizza. I'm not saying it's not okay to like pizza. I'm just saying if you think pizza is the best food on earth and solves problems, I'm side eyeing you. Ooh, now Charlene is Guyanese. Let me tell you things I learned. My friend Mr. Bat, I have to call Mr. Bat. Mr. Bat makes pilau. Some Guyanese make cook up rice. That's really good. It's like rice and peas and chicken all together. Now, one thing I learned that Guyanese chicken roti is different than Trinidadian chicken roti, but they're both still good. Toya, like they just don't know. They just don't know. They don't know. Like I have stopped. I stopped eating onion because of my digestive issues, and it made a big difference for my bloating. It made a big difference for my bloating. It was like really hard, but once this house went onion free, like a lot of our digestive problems got better because like let me tell you we put onion in everything, onion in rice, onion in eggs, like scrambled eggs with onion. I do not like onion. I have never liked onion, but scrambled eggs with onions is my favorite thing. Like I like the flavor of onion. I do always intend to start making like onion tea and using that to season my food because I think the problem I have is with the fiber of the onion, but I never do that. Ooh, yes, Ransford James, aka Foreign Man in a Foreign Land. Oh, it's on YouTube. Toya, Toya, pizza is not the food. I'm telling you. Korean food, home cooked any food really, like really home cooked any food, home cooked Italian food, home cooked any food. Like my sponsor mom's sister made when we went to her house. No, we didn't go to her house for Thanksgiving. She came to my sponsor mom's house for Thanksgiving, was it? Anyway, she came to my sponsor mom's house and she made this corn pie, corn casserole that was so good. And like I wouldn't make it now because now I know that Jif muffin mix has lard in it, but it's basically a can of creamed corn, sour cream, a can of like baby corn, like the little niblets, corn, a box of Jiffy corn muffin mix, and you mix it with cheddar cheese, you put cheddar cheese on top, you stick it in the oven, and it is so good. Like, it is so good. I would go somewhere for that before pizza. I used to use a lot of garlic to make do for my not using onion, but I've stopped using garlic. I stopped using garlic for a little while because my tummy was just doing all these things, and now I can't really tolerate it, and I'm really sad. I'm really sad about not being able to make everything garlicky. I don't really make pilau because I don't really make it very good. There are things that I just can't make. Okay, let's get back on track of my pizza rant. I cannot believe that my pizza rant. Mm. Like, look, Sharon, it tastes so good though. It tastes so good. Like, when I think back to the things that I could eat that I cannot eat anymore, and that was when I was already having like a lot of trouble with dairy. Like, I couldn't eat cheesecake, I couldn't eat ice cream, they would make me throw up. I could eat that. It was so so good. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Okay, let's yeah, Toya, that's how I feel my tummy is too. That's why I want to get. They have these little like spice bags that are kind of made from cheesecloth and have like a string, and you can put all the spices in there and like cook the food, especially if you're doing like soups and stuff. And so like the flavor goes in there, and then it's really easy to take it out. But I just never do that. Now I just use a ton of like cardamom, fenugreek, coriander. I'm like, it helps with digestion. It helps with digestion. Okay, so um y'all, this has been almost 2 hours. This is like my longest streaming in a while. Thank you, Sophia. Okay. So 1619 book finally had a release today, and it made it to like several bestseller lists. Yay. So if you're interested, make sure you get a copy, and also you can donate copies because before it was even released, it's already on some like banned lists of like banned books. You'll know every week I give you a little update on the book banning, and it's like 27 states now have banned like a whole bunch of books. And there's a children's book too, and one day I'll have enough money, and if I had money, I would buy a copy for all of the kids. So yes, Sharon, that's one way to do it. So make sure y'all check it out. Of course, the author is getting a lot of hate, but you know how it goes. I made a whole video on a hating black women topic, so that's coming soon. Okay, and then y'all know how I think it was last week that people attacked Big Bird for um getting the vaccine. Somebody made a parody account for Big Bird is running against Ted Cruz for Texas Senate. So there's the Big Bird parody account. Um, there's the account is financial director. Um, I think Ernie is communications manager. Bert has a job. um Elmo has a job. Rosita is, I think, Hispanic outreach officer. um they other one of the newer Muppets have they announced today is like director of equity and inclusion, y'all, and they all have a Twitter account. and they're roasting all the Republicans, and it is hilarious. And I think some of them think it's real because there's all these CPAC ads. Y'all know what CPAC is? That is like Elmo is not invited to CPAC. Big Bird is not invited to CPAC. It's a trash can fire. It's hilarious. It's entertaining. But like I said, I'm trying not to do too much political content because as a foreigner, I don't want anybody to say I'm influencing US politics. So y'all, it's on Twitter, it's funny, and I'm sure you can find videos about it on YouTube. Okay. So now we like heading down to like the end of the like news and stuff, to like more trivial things, although that first hour of Sophia content. Okay. So so y'all have heard there's OBS and there's Streamlabs OBS. So I used to have OBS, and I think what my process was, if Streamlabs is based on OBS and OBS is open source um software, then I went with OBS. But y'all know the laptops are not very good, so it run OBS a little bit, and after 5 minutes, it was like, no, I quit. Um, so so that's OBS is one company. Streamlabs OBS is another company. And there's a third company called Lightworks, which apparently is like StreamYards, but and it lets you like use their platform to stream online or whatever. So Twitch announced that they were partnering with Streamlabs to do things. At which point OBS comes out and tells us how Streamlabs stole the OBS name. Streamlabs asked them if they could use it. They said no. Streamlabs used it anyway. And then this other company, Lightworks, came out showing that Streamlabs, the new program that Streamlabs is releasing for people to use on Twitch, not only is it a copy of the Lightworks, but they copied the website word for word down to the customer reviews. So that happened. That was funny. Streamlabs came out and gave like a fake apology, non-apology, and it doesn't seem like it's going forward. So that was interesting. If you heard anything about that, that happened. Also, there's this other platform called Funhouse, because I guess while I was indisposed, Twitch changed like how much of the subscription revenue people were getting. So a lot of streamers are now using Funhouse, and Funhouse is like an OnlyFans, but not adult content. Um so but like a Patreon, you can do subscriptions, or you can do per message, or a mixture, or whatever. So I mean, people always tell you diversify as a content creator, but that leads to burnout. Like, I have a Patreon, and I mean, that's enough. Oh, honestly, like, I don't know. But then Twitch also came out saying that affiliates will get more emotes, and I'm like, so anyway, that's going on. If you'll care. So I've been streaming for almost 2 hours, y'all. Let's do a be right back break, and let me just drink some water. Okay, ignore my hair. I wanted to show you my cup. Oh, I'm back, by the way. I wanted to tell you about this bubble cup, not sponsored. This cup someone bought for me off of my wish list, and yo, this cup is amazing. It comes with two straws, and the top is like a clear plastic, like hard plastic top, and it has like you can do like sipping, or you can like put a straw through the hole that it comes. The only downside to this cup is that it's not spill proof. um I saw EJ Speaks using this cup. Yo, this week I tested this cup to this limit. If y'all have been here before, y'all have heard me tell y'all about how great this cup is. Like, what I've been doing is I've been making arrowroot porridge a few mornings a week. Like, I make a huge batch. I have some in the morning, and then I fill this cup with it, and I have it like later in the day when my tummy starts to ache. Um, I made a short last week about arrowroot porridge, how to make it, and like some of the things it helps with. Like, it helps like soothe the tummy, and it helps some people with anxiety. So y'all can go back and look for that. Um, and yo, so when I put the arrowroot porridge in here, it stays hot from like 8 a.m. until like 3 p.m. It's still hot in this cup. Now, a few days ago, my tummy was really, really acting up. So I like been sipping on arrowroot porridge the entire day. It was still hot. And then in the afternoon, I decided I wanted some iced tea. So when I make iced tea, like I make the tea hot and then I fill this cup, the same cup with ice, and I pour the tea over it. So I had the iced tea in there. I drank all the iced tea and I had just ice left over. So I put water and I had ice water. And it was not covered. I didn't have the cover on, just the straw, and I fell asleep with it next to me. Somehow I didn't spill it in the night, praise the Lord. And wouldn't you know, that I woke up, I went straight from a hot beverage to a cold beverage. And then, wouldn't you know, overnight, the ice didn't melt. Like, how amazing is this cup? Not sponsored. Okay. So now we can move on to the fun parts of the show. Fun part number one. What I've been watching, what I've been reading, y'all, I haven't read anything, okay? Leave me alone. We can't always be reading. So I haven't read anything. Yes, Sharon, overnight the ice was still solid. Like, I would be impressed if it had all melted and the water was still cold. Like I said, it was uncovered. No, it was still solid. Um so okay. Oh, is that a book that you're reading called Foundation? So, what I've been watching, I know y'all have been telling me for a long time that I should watch for Harriet, but I haven't always been into her videos. But I did watch a couple of her videos. I don't remember what the other one was, but her latest video about luxury really, really resonated with me. So I'm not like way into her, but ooh, Apple Plus series. I need to catch up on C with Jason Momoa. I watched the whole of the first season and I haven't watched any of the second season. Okay, if y'all don't know, Keke Palmer had a new vlog this week, and if y'all didn't know, Keke Palmer has a YouTube channel and she does these vlogs, and also Keke Palmer came like I guess she became official with her boyfriend recently. Anyway, he's been in her blog, so I don't know. So she sang the national anthem for the Royal series. That was the latest vlog, and it was cute. Her mom was in it. Her mom's always there. Okay. I've been watching Desus and Mero, the Desus and Mero show on Showtime. Obviously, I just watch the clips on YouTube. Y'all get different clips in the US than we do in the Caribbean, but it's fine. Um, Keke Palmer was on the Desus and Mero show. That was funny. And their most recent show, their most recent interview is what's his name? Jeff Goldblum. And I'm telling you, it feels like the whole interview is just chaotic, and it feels like you took like too much cold medicine or something. Like you're waking up from surgery or something. It's just it's a treat. It's a real trip. Let's see what else did I watch. Oh my gosh, y'all! Did y'all watch um the Maury? Look, okay, not many people are into like understand everything they say because but I think like overall, they're enjoyable. Um and for like a lot of people who are not normally represented in media, they're like relatable, I think. Did y'all watch? Yes, Laurie, we are still live. I'm getting all the views today. Like last night I almost didn't have a live. I was like, what am I gonna talk about? And I started like writing things down, and I'm like, look at this long list. Okay. Yes. Did y'all watch? Shane, you're back. Thanks for coming back. Um, Shane, did y'all watch the Maury and Lil Nas X collaboration? Y'all, the whole thing is on YouTube. It's so trashy and like I didn't realize Lil Nas X was such a good actor. Y'all just have to watch it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but I'm going to give you like the premise. It's based on okay, my brain is going blank, but it's based on Lil Nas X's song. That's what I really want, I think. And Maury is just like I stopped watching Maury and Jerry Springer and all of those a long time ago because I just feel like those talk show hosts are like not good for society, and those shows are just not good for society, and they're like I wonder how they affect the people. Like I feel like they're exploitative of the guests that they have on their show, but none of this is real. So um Lil Nas X is on a football team that has a pink uniform, and he is in a relationship with this guy. So they've been dating for like a month, and he shows up. Oh, Shane, when did you get a girlfriend? I thought you didn't have a girlfriend, Shane. Shane. Okay, so let me give you. So Lil Nas X goes is in a relationship with this man who's on the same football team with him. He goes to the man's house, and it has like Maury is involved in a parody of Maury, which is just like meta. So he goes to the house to surprise him. He goes to the house to surprise him. Shane, I'm so happy for you. Shane, I'm going to make sure like I pray for you because I know how much like you wanted to have like a wife to have children with, and because you need to have a wife to be a pastor, which is your goal, and I want that for you. So I am now super excited for you. Super excited for you. I'm so happy for you. I really hope it works out. I'm going to pray that it works out. I hope she's gorgeous in spirit, in soul, and she is kind and caring, and that both together of you can grow and take really good care of each other. Now back to trashy content. Oh, okay. Okay, y'all. I need to not get distracted so I can finish telling you the story. So Lil Nas X goes to this guy's house. Jaim, I think his name is called. And when he shows up with like roses, and it's always freaking red roses for this guy at his house, the guy's wife answers the door and they have a child. So they go and marry on Maury because Lil Nas X wants Jaim to leave his wife for Lil Nas X. And they have all the bells and whistles. Lil Nas X claims the baby is not the husband's, and so they have a paternity test. Plus, they have a lie detector test of the actual guy. So you know the two things Maury's famous for. When it comes to little 4-year-old Roshana, you are commercial break. They even did the commercial break. And y'all, it's on Maury's channel. And so I'm not going to spoil the paternity test results um or the what's the name of the thing? The lie detector test results, but I can tell y'all it is peak trashy TV. Lil Nas X, like all the people in there do like a really good job acting. It makes you wonder if like any of Maury's guests are real people. And then like Maury's such a good sport for like spoofing his own self. Plus, like in the end, they had to like put up a disclaimer that this isn't real. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was like 24 minutes of pure enjoyment for me. And I'm like, give Lil Nas X a role. Hollywood, make a movie with this man. And then um what's his name? And then today someone posted a picture of um two of the Spider-Man and Lil Nas X. I don't remember which one. I think Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Lil Nas X. And Lil Nas X is like, yeah, I'm Miles Morales. And I think that would be so cool if Lil Nas X was in Spider Man. Okay, so I see we have a lot of Weird Al appreciation in the chat. I'm not that familiar with him. Like I've seen him in passing, so I'm I have a lot to go on. Like I want to be done in like the next 20 minutes. Okay, so I don't remember when I told y'all um about Star Trek Prodigy. I really thought about like making like little review videos for Star Trek Prodigy, but like it's too much for me right now. I can only do one show at a time, and 4400 is more than enough. So when Star Trek Prodigy comes back in January, if 4400 is off, I might do reviews. Um, but Jessie Gender says Star Trek content does not get a lot of views on her channel, so I'm wondering if it's even worth it. But you never know. What's a little bit of views for her might be a lot of views for me. So we'll keep prodding on. But Star Trek Prodigy, the fifth episode was this week and was super cute. Like, I feel like they're taking a break now for until January, and the first five episodes are really like good at like establishing the characters and the worlds and like everybody's role. And I don't want to spoil it, but it was really good. It was like really super cute, and it doesn't have like the gore and low of that I don't like about Lower Decks. And the animation is really really good, and the characters have like many layers, and I'm super enjoying it. Now, speaking of Star Trek Discovery came back, and to tell the truth, I stopped watching Star Trek Discovery. I think in the first season, like I didn't don't think I even watched the entire first season because I found myself yelling at the screen, and I do not want to be the old lady that yells at my TV. So I just like couldn't really deal with Star Trek Discovery. Anyway, in the past, when Star Trek Discovery comes out on Paramount Plus, in the international markets, it would come out on Netflix. Well, like Star Trek Discovery, I think premiered yesterday, and like 2 days ago, the Paramount Plus was like, oh, it's not gonna be on Netflix. So those of you like not in the US right now who don't have Paramount Plus, we're going to be introducing Paramount Plus to other places in the world, and um, those of then y'all will get to watch it. And I'm like, first of all, like some places in the world will never get Paramount Plus, and those places probably had Star Trek Discovery on Netflix. First of all, because let's be real, I will never get Instagram Reels, and I'm okay with that. I'm not really even checking much for Instagram these days. Like I just really can't cope with Instagram right now. Um, so it's like the rest of the world doesn't really matter. Like I get that we don't spend as much money as the US, but they don't even give us the opportunity to spend any money. It's fine. It's fine. I don't want to tell people the other ways they can watch things if they don't have Paramount Plus, but we've been not having access. Like we only just recently got access to Hulu. When I moved from the US, what's my thoughts on Thanksgiving? Okay, we can come to Thanksgiving. When I moved to the US, um, when I moved from the US in 2011 to St. Lucia, my Pandora account, my Hulu account, my Netflix account all became useless. Like, at least now we're getting more shows on Netflix. Y'all, Netflix was bad in the 2011 when I moved to St. Lucia. Bad. Like all the shows I was in the middle of watching, I could not watch anymore. We had to find another way to watch our shows. You know, there used to be Mega Video, but they put that person in jail. But there's always ways to watch things. There are always ways. We will find a way, and that's money they lost. So, Shane has asked my thoughts on Thanksgiving. All right, Shane. As a black person, a North American person, I believe we all should be fighting for black liberation, indigenous sovereignty, and migrant rights. Because before colonization, those things, we're fighting for them now because of colonization. That being said, I don't think it is my place to tell indigenous people what they should and shouldn't be doing. But I personally would not celebrate Thanksgiving without acknowledging that the story of Thanksgiving, as popularized in American culture, does not acknowledge the violence of indigenous people. And so while I think that it's nice that a lot of people, this is the only holiday they get to spend time with their family, I also think that people shouldn't be forced to spend time with family that has hurt them, because sometimes, like, not all your family is good for you. Sometimes your family doesn't treat you well, and being around them is not good for you, and you shouldn't feel pressured to spend time with them. But if you want to spend time with your family on Thanksgiving, if you want to enjoy good food with your family on Thanksgiving, then you do you. But I feel like on some levels, Thanksgiving is culturally appropriating indigenous people's harvest festivals too. And so we need to acknowledge the harm that was done, because we cannot heal from it without acknowledging it. That being said, I see that CNN is also surprised. I didn't even put this down. I see that CNN is surprised that indigenous populations are growing, and like, okay, CNN, like indigenous people exist. Like I know a lot of indigenous people are fighting for representation, of representation of themselves in current culture. Like, that's why a lot of people are celebrating Rutherford Falls, which, oh my god, I am so salty. I was in the middle of watching Rutherford Falls on Peacock when all of a sudden I could no longer access Peacock from St. Lucia. All of a sudden they blocked my location, so I tried to use a VPN and I could not use a VPN, and I wanted to watch Rutherford Falls so I could have thoughts on Rutherford Falls. Anyways, so that's why a lot of people, indigenous people, separate. That's why a lot of indigenous people celebrate like Reservation Dogs and Rutherford Falls, because in a lot of people's mind, they don't even think like indigenous people exist today. Like indigenous people um wear like jeans and t-shirts. They only think of indigenous people as either existing in the past or existing as a caricature in ceremonial wear, in like fancy dress, and they don't think of them as human beings who deserve all the best things. I will now step off my soapbox. I'm sorry, y'all, but black liberation, indigenous sovereignty, migrant rights, every day. Y'all know. Y'all know that's my soapbox. Y'all know. That's my jam right there. And we can talk about that forever. So, I'm not indigenous. I do not speak for indigenous people, but I think we should listen to indigenous people on this topic. Okay. And also, Christopher Columbus sucks. No more Columbus Day. Um, I'm getting off my soapbox. Where was I? Oh, Star Trek. So, oh, speaking of indigenous, the other show that I've been watching, and I think I might have, like, I feel like I missed something. Like, either I forgot or I wasn't paying attention. Or I fell asleep while I was watching it. Remember, I was telling you about Tribal, right? So, for those of you who don't know, Tribal is a Canadian TV show. It's set like near what's the word for when you make up something and it's imaginary but it's like fake? Anyways, I forgot the word I want to use, but it's near a like made up um reserve in Canada, and it follows this indigenous lady who becomes the chief of tribal police, and tribal police kind of work under metro police. So remember how I told you last season they found these like pile of bodies? It turns out it was 13 or was it 6? I don't remember. So they arrested like two people, and it seems like that sort of like has kind of been resolved. But the indigenous lady, not no not none of these words, like just like when it's not real. um so 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 the lady has a white partner, and her white partner, remember I told you there was something with the white partner? Well, before the series started, he had been shot like while like trying to arrest some indigenous people. But apparently one of the bodies they found in the pile of bodies in the water treatment plant was the man that had supposedly shot the indigenous lady's partner. So, what that means is that, so he has no memory of the shooting, right? So, what we learned last week was that the white cop, had shot the man's nephew. He thought the man had a gun. They didn't find the gun, but then they told him that the man had run away and gone, and like was just gone. Like the man had run away, and they were trying to, and they couldn't catch him. Turns out the man had been shot by one of the cops and was in the pile of bodies. So now, like, it's coming down, and the like chief of police now has been replaced by this black lady. Except, like, they're making her to be like a really mean black lady, and like I just feel so confused at this point in the show. But of course, I'll keep watching it. So anyway, if y'all are looking for something to watch, and then the interesting thing in this the interesting thing in um this last episode was that they went to, like, a white man was killed on a reserve, and they called them in, but that reserve have like their own police, and they're not part of like the bigger thing, and they have their own court. And and they were like asking her about it, and she said that they don't have treaty rights. So basically, that nation had been like following the herds around, and that's how they traveled before colonization. So when the Canadian government was negotiating treaties with the indigenous nations, they said that that certain nation were refugees and were not like originally from Canada, even if like they could prove that they'd been like migrating back and forth for millennia. And so they didn't recognize them, and so they don't have treaty rights. I don't know what treaty rights mean in Canada, but I was just like, ha, colonialism. Anyways, um, the Rookie. I also watching the Rookie. I know I wasn't watching it, and now I'm watching it, and they had a whole arc about a serial killer, and I thought they would drag it out for the entire season, but it only took like 3 episodes, and they've now resolved. They've now caught the serial killer, so that was meh. Um, Nothing super hot and spicy is going on in that show at all. But I wanted to ask y'all before we move on to movies. I wanted to ask y'all, um, if any of y'all are watching Insecure. Sharon, hot take, hot take. If you're watching Insecure and Queen Sugar, like, I never got into Insecure, and every time I see a clip or people talk about it, I am like not interested. It feels like girls but black, and I've seen people describe it like that, and I really did not like girls. I found it utterly uninteresting. But I'm weird like that. And I used to be really, really into Queen Sugar, but like it's just too good. Like they just break my heart too many times, and I feel like I want to get back into them, but I feel like I do not have the emotional resilience to get back into it. Okay. So now we can move to movies. Did y'all see the Eternals, and how do y'all think about it? What do y'all think about it? I would like to see it like in its full glory. We're not going to talk about how I saw it. Um, but I have thoughts. They're still forming in my head. But feel free to tell me what you all thought about it. Um, and also this new House of Gucci movie with Lady Gaga and um Adam Driver is coming out. Like, I don't get why people are like goo goo gaga for Adam Driver, and I like really wasn't going to watch it because I don't really like based on a true story movies. But they were on the Graham Norton show, and Graham Norton said that Lady Gaga and Adam Driver have a sex scene, which is one of the best he's seen in movies. And y'all know my dirty, dirty self was like, okay, so I need to see this. I need to judge for myself. Mm. Okay. Also coming. Let me see what videos I have lined up. Also coming, there is a I'm gonna do that. Stay there, we're almost done. There is a Now, Sharon, that I am there for. John Oliver's obsession with Adam Driver. Speaking of, when is John Oliver's show coming back? Um um J-Lo is having a new movie, a rom-com with Owen Wilson, where she's a Stretch your imagination. Imagine J Lo. She plays a famous pop star, and she's going to marry her pop star boyfriend, who there's a video where he's caught cheating right before they're going to get married in a concert that streamed to millions of people. And right before the concert, she right before the concert, she a video is released of him cheating with her assistant. So um Owen Wilson has a daughter and a friend, Sarah Silverman, who I heard Sarah Silverman did blackface. I am not up on that whole scandal. Has Sarah Silverman, the like show is called Marry Me. Sarah Silverman has a didn't this take place in New York? Don't you have to have like a marriage license like 3 days before you can get um ooh yes. Don't you have to be like, I feel like you have to have a marriage license for like a certain number of days before you can even get married in New York. Yes, the whole movie takes place in New York. Anyway, Sarah Silverman gives her marry me sign to Owen Wilson's character. He holds it up. JLo's character says, "Yes, I will marry you," because she's so distraught. Pulls him on stage, marries him. They're married. Like, I'm like, you can't get married like that in New York. Like, you need a marriage license, and like it has to be like a certain number of days. Like, unless they changed it. And that's the premise of the show. And they're married and they stay together. And J Lo goes to his high school prom because Owen Wilson is a high school teacher. And that's the premise of the show, of the rom com. Now I do not like rom coms, but I am going to watch this, and it is utterly ridiculous, utterly unbelievable, and that is the rom com I am here for. Ah, I see. I see, Sharon. Okay. What else is on my list? Let me see. Oh, did I tell you about the new Downton Abbey movie? There's also a new Downton Abbey movie coming out next year. So, somehow Maggie Smith's character went from dying to inheriting a villa in the south of France, and they all go off to south of France. That's the trailer. Those trailers were released this week, so you can look at it. Oh, what's cooking? Okay, what looking? Why is this live so long? So this week, whichever day I went to town, I had to like try and stretch the money. But yes, another downtown movie. Look, as long as Julian Fellows is alive, we'll keep getting downtown movies. Um, so I could talk about Downton Abbey, but I don't want to. I'm exhausted. So I went to town and I was like trying to stretch the grocery money. So I bought two baking potatoes. Normally I don't buy baking potatoes because they're $6 a kilogram. I normally buy the potatoes that are $2 a kilogram, but those looked like really bad, and I like having potatoes on hand because it's easy to like make something filling. So the other night I was like really hungry, and I really was feeling, I was like so hungry, I was dizzy. I got like all of a sudden really hungry. Notice how I didn't do a racism even though I was really hungry. So I chopped up this potato, the baking potato. Oh, and the best part, when I checked out, the cashier didn't realize they were baking potatoes and she charged me for the other potatoes, and I was like, ooh, okay. Like I felt bad, but then I was like, my tummy doesn't feel bad. Um, Neither does my wallet. So I chopped it up in like little cubes and I tossed it in salt and some coconut oil. I didn't put pepper because I don't have black pepper. I have this other pepper, but sometimes I wonder if it hurts my tummy. Anyway, off topic. And I put it in the halogen oven. Remember, I was telling you all about the halogen oven, how it's like an air fryer, but it's not. And I put in a chicken breast, and that also just had salt and oil on it. And y'all, these potato cubes were crispy on the outside and pillowy on the inside, and I was in heaven. In heaven. In heaven. Like, that is the most favorite thing I have ever eaten. but it was my last potato and I really want to make it again. It's not, I think it's like a British thing that's been around for like the last 50 years or so, like in Britain, especially because like a lot of people in England have like really tiny apartments and stuff. So it's been around. And a lot of people live in like bed sits, which like they don't have a whole kitchen. Anyways, y'all, this was so good. Like so, so, so good. If I actually do anything for my birthday, I might do those potatoes again. Okay. So that's like the only interesting thing I think I made this week. I don't think I made anything else really interesting. Um, I made some soup, but y'all know about the soup. If y'all haven't seen it, there's a short. I made like a short, so 1 minute of me making the soup, so y'all can like look at that. And I still need to work on the recipe book. I'm going to do vlogmas. I have no idea. Hold on, drink break. I have no idea about I have no idea about like what format the vlogmas will be, but there'll be vlogmas, there'll be videos and holiday spirit videos. I'm not sure how many. I don't know. But I've decided I'm going to do vlogmas. I've done an intro, I've done an end screen. So there you go. Vlogmas is coming. This week, look out for an unpopular opinions video. It's already like ready to go. Patrons will be getting the unpopular opinions video in a few days. I'll put it up on Patreon. So if look, okay. I also did a sweet potato very similarly when I did the baking potato because I was really like hungry. But it wasn't as good as the baking potato. Um so patrons will get an unpopular video, the unpopular opinions video. Um I will try to do the recap for 4400 from Monday. Don't hold me to it. I have another video planned for next week that I'm hoping I will finish editing this weekend. It's already done. Oh, Sharon, we made pasta, which could be gluten free pasta, can always be artichoke pesto. Oh, with a faux bacon and broccoli sauce. Oh, that sounds really good. Except the faux bacon, I don't like fake meat. Yeah, we'll see that in the unpopular opinions video. Um, so look out next week for maybe the 4400 recap on Monday, the 4400 live on Tuesday, a very special video on Wednesday, and unpopular opinions on Thursday, and maybe a live on Friday if I feel up to it. I'm trying to like decide early enough about the lives where I can put it up on Thursday so y'all can get the put the reminders on. Okay. So now today I wanted to share with y'all some fun videos from around the internet, and I really hope I don't get copyright dinged, but it's fine. These lives don't make that much money anyway, and I'll just take out whichever section um gets copyright dings. Thanks, Sharon. The one video for next week is already done. One video I have until next Wednesday to edit. So y'all, I'm not committing to the 4400 recap on Monday. Like if I get really tired, if my tummy keeps doing what it's been doing, y'all might not get that. Because those recap videos actually take a lot of effort. Okay. So now we're going to have some fun times because I just wanted to share some of the fun things I've been seeing around the internet. Okay, y'all remember when Fergie and here's my Patreon for anyone who's interested. Y'all remember when Fergie sang the national anthem? I think at the Super Bowl, was it? Anyway, someone made a book and someone made a video like played the no, someone made a video of them playing the audio while using the book, and it is hilarious. Prepare yourself.
Star Spangled Banner, Fergie.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Let's play some basketball. You look at my eye. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just knew I had to share that with y'all. And y'all know the best part? The best part is you can get this book. You can buy the book. It's a real book. Oh my god. Oh. The only thing that would make it even better was if like the sound was in the book and the sound played when you turn the pages. Oh. Oh. Okay, y'all. Oh. Okay. So the next two videos are what will probably get me copyright dinged. And hopefully my live stream doesn't just cut off. Because at the beginning of the pandemic, when I tried to live stream, it would just get cut off in the middle. So hopefully it'll be okay. But I just wanted to show some black joy and be like, and tell you, yes, Sharon, you can buy the book. Look it up, you'll find it. You know, you can find things really well on the internet. You can find it. Oh my god. Okay, so What was I saying? Um. Oh God. So yes, I just want to show some black joy because black people are not okay today. And I want to say that I really want to work on black movies because I keep seeing these videos of people having a lot of fun on black movies. And I just think it's super cool. So the first is from the Black Western with Regina King and all the black people that just came out that I haven't watched. That's I think it's on Netflix. So anyway, that's from the cast and the crew. Not Sharon going and find the link. I know she would find the link. Oh my god. Okay. So what was I saying? um is like this is a really cool video because they're dancing, everyone is dancing, cast and crew, and the crew is in their full west, the cast is in their full western outfits. So here y'all go. Okay, y'all, does that not look super cool? And if that's not enough, a few months ago, maybe weeks ago, I saw Octavia Spencer also post on Instagram a similar thing. And she's like, if your crew doesn't act like this, you're making the wrong movies or something like this. I don't know about y'all, but these videos just are like warm my soul. Like it feels like a family gathering, you know, and whatever movie that is that Octavia Spencer is making, I want to watch it. I'm telling you, like, didn't it like just make your mood just a little better? Just a little better. Okay. So, all right. So, the next one is called the Santorini Challenge. So, there's this song. I think the artist is from Guadeloupe and it's called Santorini. The other word for it is Tutuni. The whole song is in Creole, and the thing about Creole is it varies from place to place. So like, I get most of the song, but it's hard for me to like give you an accurate translation. So basically, it seems like this young lady is saying that she wants someone to pay for her vacation to Santorini, and when you go to Santorini, you wear a bikini or you're naked. So tutuni um either is like directly translating to naked or insinuating that the bikini is so tiny you might as well be naked. So that is now a challenge, and like it just makes me really happy because like you don't hear, like you don't see a lot of representation of Creole culture. You don't even like get an acknowledgement of like French people from the Caribbean even existing, which is what I was when I was on my indigenous soapbox. Like so many times a lot of discrimination is just trying to tell you that you don't exist. So it's like really cool. Like you can just search the hashtag Santorini challenge anywhere and you get to see like a few of these videos. So I've chosen some of my favorites for y'all to see, and again, I really hope I don't get copyright dinged, but it's totally worth it because those are like some of them like are like no, just watch it, just watch it.
Café payé, vacances là haute époque monnaie là. J'emmène ouais Marbella. Si Santorini, c'est bikini. En bikini, et puis toutouni. Toutouni, 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 toutouni.
Okay, I totally did not see that because both of my devices that I'm currently using, two devices, just both of them were like no. So um that one was like one of the first ones I saw, and that one was like one of my favorites. Um so this one, the the bikini is sparkly, so we want to watch that.
Café payé, vacances là haute époque monnaie là. J'emmène ouais Marbella. Si Santorini, c'est bikini. En bikini, et puis toutouni. Toutouni, toutouni.
And then this final one, I think this one like the whole transformation. So like some of them go from like regular looking to like hair, makeup all done. Some of them like go the extra mile and like wet their hair. And I think this one like did a lot of change in their hair. Some of them are like a whole group of them.
Café payé, vacances là haute époque monnaie là. J'emmène ouais Marbella. Si Santorini, c'est bikini. En bikini, et puis toutouni. Toutouni, 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 toutouni.
Okay, oh sorry. I thought I had three, but I am blind. So y'all, that's it. So if you like that sort of thing, you can go and watch the Santorini challenge, and you can see a lot of French Caribbean, Creole Caribbean girls. Um, if it offends your conservative sensibilities, Sharon naked, naked. Yo, when I went to Martinique, one of the most beautiful beaches, I don't know if it's still super beautiful now, in Martinique is set on. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a touristy town, touristy destination, but the beach is gorgeous. Oh my god, I should have pulled up my picture from there. It's like my favorite type of beach, super flat, just like little, the water just barely moving. It's like a whole stretch, and it has a naked section. Because y'all know a lot of the beaches in Europe are topless, and I think Saturn in Martinique is topless. Like Saint Lucia is more conservative than Martinique, and like tourists would come over from Martinique to Saint Lucia and not understand why they couldn't go topless. It was hilarious. Um, yeah, we almost hit 3 hours. Oh my god, I need to find food and go sleep. Um, oh my god, it's almost 6. So, y'all, that was everything. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope like the fun little videos at the end lifted your spirits a little bit. I know we have to go back to the realities. Toya, like I remember the exact moment my waist no longer did what I told it to do. I was at the street party with Kira, and I was dancing with Kira, and I actually have a video of it. If y'all saw the video on my stories, y'all might not have even realized it was me because I was like butt up. Um and like I like was dancing and my waist was not doing what I was telling it to do. And then I I stood up and my back was hurting, and I'm like, Kira, my back is hurting. My butt isn't doing the things. What is wrong with me? Um and like I had to like scale back because like Kira is my partner in crime of like going to a party, dancing on a table or whatever, and neither of us having a drink. Um so like I was like, my back, no, we need to solve this problem. And yo, my back still hurts. My back is just not what it used to be. Anyways, yo, thank y'all for hanging out with me because you know I was about to spiral, but thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank y'all for all of your support, for watching my videos and everything. Next week the videos are already there. My patrons, you'll be getting the unpopular opinions video. Um um I we'll talk some more. Brain powering down. Y'all have a good weekend. I'll be around. I might pop into Instagram. I don't think I'm going to post. I just don't feel like it. But I'm on Twitter more these days. Although like I probably won't post there either. Maybe not. But y'all, thanks so much. Have a good day. This has been the fun stream. This has been the fun stream. Goodbye. Goodbye.